Hello and welcome. So fun thing, the music turns off every time I click out of the game screen, so I apologize for the dead silence. But anyway, here we are. It is time to play a new game. It's called Heaven Will Be Mine. The only thing I know about it is that it's gay and there's mechs. Yeah, that fun thing some PC games do. Yeah, so that'll be exciting for us. It shouldn't matter too much. I guess I can click back over now because we're going to stay on this screen. Let me know if the sound is okay. Yeah, so wearing a hat I never wear that seemed thematic. Today is also Oakland Pride, and I'm not going because fuck going outside. But I got this at Oakland Pride, so felt like that would all work out. Might be able to enable it in settings. Yeah, there wasn't a lot in the options here. But yeah, we're having a proper gay Sunday. So I have no idea what this is gonna be like. I believe I've seen my friend Ty say this was good. I assume if it's a visual novel and it's gay, then my friend Ty recommended it at some point. And that's good enough for me. I trust Ty. Follow Uppercut Crit if you don't already. We're drinking water already because it's hot. I also didn't finish my tea, so maybe we'll have a real exciting multi-drink stream. So, yeah, let's see what the fuck this is all about. Oh boy! We have to select our pilot. Alright, Saturn, Faction, Celestial Mechanics, Self-Ship, String of Pearls. I can read words, I swear. Reserve Test Pilot. Celestial Mechanics wants to advance humanity to its next stage. Saturn wants to flirt, but there's no reason we can't do both. Combat style, button mashing. Bedroom style, button mashing. Pluto. Faction, Cradle's Graces. Self-ship, Kroon Makala. Cradle's Graces, ultimate weapon pilot. Even if Earth has given up on a new life for humanity in space, Cradle's Graces hasn't, and Pluto will make that dream come true. Likes succulents, good girls, crushing, both kinds, everyone. Dislikes is trying very hard not to have any. Alright, and then Lunaterra, so I think it's just 3. Faction, Memorial Foundation, Self-ship, Mare Crisium. Memorial Foundation ace pilot, fighting for the pilots to join the rest of humanity back on Earth before it's too late. Good at sniping, espionage, double-crossing, ghosting. Bad at loving herself, everything else. I mean, Saturn is my favorite planet. I didn't even really look at them. If one were to pick a planet, that would be the one. Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it. Oh god, I had a feeling that I was gonna have to read a lot, which means my throat's gonna explode, which means we'll see how long I do this for. Welcome, Provisional Test Pilot Saturn. Your clearance level is 1, testing and maintenance. Warning, potential damage to cockpit hardware detected. Warning, modifying or tampering with cockpit hardware and/or firmware is strictly prohibited. Mercury, Saturn, what are you doing? Notice, bypass override accepted. Notice, launch attempt blocked, no handshake with base. Oh hey, Mercury. I know, well, I like visual novels, but then my throat hurts when I read too much. This is my struggle. I should just not stream visual novels, but I have not learned that lesson yet. Oh hey Mercury, not much. Warning, launch attempt blocked, base handshake spoof detected. Saturn, just hacking the OS root of this ship self. You? Base handshake, blah blah blah. Base handshake accepted. Mercury, trying to stop some brat from hijacking the prototype apparently. Notice, emergency launch override initiated. Prepare for launch in T-minus 120 seconds. Calm down, Mercury. I'm just borrowing it. Mercury, I am not debating. I am trying to save your life. The commander will be furious, and he won't just accept you stealing the Cornerstone project from the designated pilot. It's not a big deal. Have it back before you know it. This is privileged information, but the designed pilot has to launch right this second to get that machine back to Earth before they get here. This is the worst possible time. It couldn't be worse if you planned it. Everyone in the system suddenly somehow knows this base's location, and they're heading here now. Notice user launch override block denied by base. Oh, wow, weird. How'd that happen? Notice user launch override block denied by base. You planned it, didn't you? You forgot an apostrophe. Notice base override remote shutdown in 30 seconds. No one can prove anything, especially not the designated pilot unconscious in locker 27. Whoops, looks like they're trying to kick me out, huh? Saturn, I know you're mad, but you can't do this oh my god, this bitch ain't even doing commas anymore. Saturn, I know you're mad, but you can't do this. When they catch you, it's going to be so bad. Can you please just act like you're pranking them? There's still time, I will beg them. Oh, such a worrywart. You've got hours to evacuate to the capital ship. They'll never engage you this far from base, and I'll be distracting them. Rich of me to say she didn't use apostrophes, and I'm constantly not using them. I have it all figured out. Except for how you're going to do anything at all to accomplish that with everyone trying to kill you. Notice base overwrite remote shutdown in 20 seconds. Saturn. Try to have a little faith. Notice space override remote shutdown in 15 seconds. Saturn. Calm down, jeez. It doesn't take a genius to drive one of these things to the moon. Who cares which one of us does it? Or do you think I can't? Remote shutdown in 10 seconds. That is not the issue. The commander cares, and you know better than anyone what he's like. Base shutdown remote shutdown in 9 seconds. Iapetus will just have to get used to it, lol. Remote shutdown in 8 seconds. Saturn, what are you trying to prove? Remote shutdown in 7 seconds. 6. So much Mercury. 5. But give me a little credit. I'm gonna stop reading these. I have much higher ambitions than just being a bitch. If sequence missing. Base override cancelled. I almost got worried for a second, lol. Welcome assigned pilot. Full permissions granted. Saturn, I'm going to die, and it will be your fault. Aw, come on. I'll get this to the moon safe and sound. And let the Severance project be complete. I'll be very good, maybe, and do everything I'm supposed to, maybe. I know I'm the second choice, but they'd rather have that than nothing, right? Very generous of me, isn't it? They will not accept that. They will sort of have to, though, won't they? If Command didn't want me to steal one, they shouldn't have benched me indefinitely. Emergency launch initiated. Let me know when he starts admitting it. Warning, hostile launch catapult locks on. High risk of damage to your ship self. Jeez, now they're just being needy. Mercury, isn't it just the worst when someone who doesn't care anymore starts clinging just because you found someone new? Notice prepping weapon systems. Notice electrotoxin levels surging. Notice weapons operational. So gross, lol. Emergency launch initiated. Apparently we're gonna kill everyone? I can't believe I really did it. I really, really did it. Everyone who said if I was good I'd get my chance again sure was a liar. Ah ha 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 ha. I got away and I've got a ship and she's all mine. You're beautiful. I want to know everything about you. I missed this so much. Much better than the test machines when I was in the academy. She is beautiful. She's a wicked machine with a lot of secrets and just as giddy as her pilot to be free. She's extremely responsive, eager to do everything Saturn wants. You're even worth reading the manual for. What's in your... You're not hiding anything from me, are you? I didn't know we were going to flirt with our mech, I should have expected. But Saturn already knows everything in the manual and more. It's a very cagey document that doesn't do the ship justice and is certainly hiding something. There's plenty of information on how to use her electromagnetic poisons, and how to cheat distance and gravity, and all of that is fun, but none of that tells her the first thing about how to be a ship. This is useless. How can this help diagnose anything when they don't know the first thing about being a ship? So wrong. Way too dry. That's not what it's like at all. It's a body that's also a soul. It means exactly what it is. That's why it's small, curved and wicked edges in some places, but curved in soft ways elsewhere. Sharp claws and deadly tail, but cute enough to hug. So perfectly suited for Saturn, one has to understand exactly why they wouldn't give it to her. Really perfect. Fits better than a human body. That's reason enough to disobey everyone and run off with it, isn't it? Oh, speaking of... more threatening emails from Iapetus, missing me already. I gave him a perfectly good deal. For someone who always goes on about mutually beneficial arrangements, he's really having trouble seeing the big picture. And the time it takes him to realize that, I'm sure I can find something to do in this system. Time to test you out and see if it's really true. Can you give me everything I want, down to the last drop? Ah, Jesus Christ. It's January 1st, 1980, and the long Cold War, where humanity united against its nemesis, an existential threat from beyond the stars, has been over for a long time. Since the 50s, we've been fighting a war against an existential threat that we cannot understand, cannot perceive, and is powerless against the technology of Earth. That is a pretty stupid sort of war to fight, isn't it? When there's enough of a mess down here to worry about. Humanity is already the undisputed authority of reality, and we have the physics to prove it. It's time to return to Earth, our home, the seat of the universe. Before Earth takes us back in pieces, let's go home with grace. On the first anniversary of the decommissioning of the International Space Program, we, Memorial Foundation Native Sphere Existential Safety, in agreement with our home planet's unanimous decision, declare, there is no future for humanity in space. Let's come home. The Return Resolution, Memorial Foundation Native Sphere Existential Safety. God damn it! I'm drinking water. Look, I don't know what I expected. I knew what I was getting into, but also... It's January 1st, 1981. It's been 1 year since we declared independence from Memorial Foundation and the rest of Earth. The Cold War is officially over, and it feels so light without their gravity weighing us down. How can a tiny handful of colonies, terraformers, and schools hold out against the full authority of Earth? Because that shit doesn't fly past escape velocity. To power the ship selves we made to fight the Cold War, we made tidal resonators to bring the gravity necessary for humans and culture to survive in space. And that gravity is ours now, enough to make a new world free from the weight of Earth. If Memorial Foundation wants to kill the future, they'll have to come and take it from us. We're thankful for our cradles, graces, but we're not coming back. Independence Declaration, Cradles, Graces. It's January 25th, 1981. Memorial Foundation and Cradles Graces have been having fun for a little over a year, and nothing is breaking the stalemate. Earth is getting impatient. They have good reason to believe that the existential threat posed by a divided humanity in space is much greater than any theoretically malevolent entity outside of the native sphere. While the kids are fighting, Earth is getting ready to list the humans remaining in space as part of the existential threat, and when they do, they'll send real weapons, and end this war fought with plastic toys. Their justification? We are technically less than 100% human, just not human enough to be something else. It's hard to believe they're really onto us. It's time to make a drastic move. Bring in our final piece, the prototype ship self string of pearls. So many fucking S's. We made in the atmosphere of the planet Cronus, which will never be Saturn, to the lunar gravity well, where Memorial Foundation and Cradles Graces are already headed. Whoever controls that place controls human access to space. We can be sure everything will be in place there. Earth or space, we are just short of 100% human. So let's see how much less than 100% we can get. Internal report, Celestial Mechanics. Day 1. Oh god. Alright, Saturn return. In the strange gravity of the abandoned Daphnis lab, Saturn lies in wait for the looming threat of Pluto's mysterious ship. But what are they after, and will they get it? Okay, Joyride, Killjoy. Weaving in and out of the 6 planets ring, Memorial Foundation's ace Lunaterra plays cat and mouse with the renegade ship thief Saturn. Okay, so I can't click on those, but I can click on this. Your apparent promotion. Good job, Saturn. There's no point in being angry with you, so I'll choose to be proud of you instead. I'll refrain from having you sunk, since that's counterproductive to our intentions for that unit. You were a reserve candidate, after all, so you'll do fine. Try not to make it too much of a pain in the ass for me. I'll have Mercury reassigned to you since he apparently doesn't have a say in the matter. How nostalgic. The two of you had so much potential. Well, he knows how to do his job at least. Do your best to not get the string of pearls sunk. We'll absolutely wash you out of the biological interface and reassign you permanently if we get the chance, so prove you're competent enough and neither of us will have wasted our time. Iapetus. Truce ending effective immediately. To all members of the former Memorial Foundation Native Sphere Existential Research Division, now known as Celestial Mechanics, this message serves as a formal acknowledgement that this branch has violated our trust and broken the provisions of the 1981 Memorial Foundation Consensus by violating Clause 3, the development of a variable gravity engine, and Clause 7, the installation of a variable gravity engine into the ship self string of pearls. I will say it right one of these times. Celestial Mechanics will no longer be listed as part of Memorial Foundation. They will be formally relisted as an independent entity and considered a true existential threat by Memorial Foundation. Oh my god, why is their name so long? We are still offering forgiveness, so please defect as soon as possible while the appeal of grace period is still in effect. Please otherwise expect title retaliation for existential endangerment of human culture. Halamede, Princess, Memorial Foundation, Native Sphere, Existential Safety. Hello and welcome. Yeah, I know almost nothing about this game, so I'm very excited. I'm also reading a lot, and I'm gonna need to drink so much more water than I'm already drinking. They do eventually abbreviate to NSES, which I'm also so good at saying, as we just proved, so that'll be still better. You absolutely will. There's a lot of text in this. I don't know why I do this to myself. It's fine. Okay, I think that was all of my emails for now. Oh no, those were selects. Maybe it just didn't want to let me. I don't know, whatever. Comms. Mercury, don't talk to me. Okay, wonderful. Data log. Probably not worried about that. Abs, hello! Welcome to the stream where I have to prove I can read. I'm so excited. I assume that's just if we want to read back something, which I don't. Alright, we haven't yet aligned. Oh no, not a reading stream. I know, I keep doing this to myself. We'll see how long I can stand to read for before my throat hurts and I die. Sure, let's save the game. Every time I don't remember to save things. I love Saturn and Mercury's dynamics. So glad she's the pilot you went with first. Yeah, it's my favorite planet. That seemed as good a reason to pick something as anything. Okay. I guess just start with this one. Yeah, let's find out. No, I guess I did. I clicked on it and then I clicked out of it. Well, we'll get back to it. Mercury, what do you mean I can feel her presence? Please do not try to sound that cool. Thank you! My horns are always here, but blue lipstick felt good for today. Can't get back to it. Alright, well, fuck me. We'll have to live with that. Do not try to sound that cool. I can feel her presence. Everyone can feel her presence. I can feel it right now. How could you even possibly ignore something like that? Shut up. I mean, I can feel it physically. Oh. Wait, what? Like, how? Like, I feel like I'm gonna throw up. It's like I'm spinning upside down and can't stop. Are you sure you haven't somehow concussed yourself or given yourself gravity sickness from all the damage you've managed to inflict on yourself in the past 12 hours? Yes, and it's on top of all that, and also, shut up. String of Pearls is feeding me sensory information on the direct line. I'm a human being with 5 senses, and she's trying to cram a dozen more into me. By direct line, you are in fact talking about the extremely creepy physical interface connection between you and the String of Pearls, correct? It really, really is, right? It's truly incredible how we agree about everything and still feel the opposite about it. Is this why you keep hesitating before giving me intel? Yes, because you're going to the opposite of what you should do with it, but I also can't not tell you because you might die, so running support for you is an incredibly anxiety-inducing affair. It must be hard. Thank you for acknowledging it. So, you gonna tell me what's after me? You've already figured it out, haven't you? But yes, it's that Cradle's Grace's masterwork. Celestial mechanics traded the knowledge for how to finish String of Pearls in exchange for what they needed to finish the Krun Makala. It would be pretty funny if they got us this way in the end. It's headed directly to the lab. We've already evacuated on the capital ship, but you are its highest priority. Should I play bait? If anything, it's more important for you to get back to the native sphere first. In order for us to make contact, we need the String of Pearls. We believe if you hide in the abandoned Daphnis lab, you can use the decaying gravity furnace for cover. Ah, that's sensible. But bait sounds like a lot more fun, you know? Really? Oh, come on, IAP must think their pilot is a real idiot if she's going to waste their time on a wild goose chase like that. He wouldn't just sacrifice you like that. He would. There must be backups for making contact. Just because I'm the easiest option doesn't mean I'm the only one. He's testing to see if I'm worth investing in, or just going to get myself killed. Macula is like immaculate. I will fuck up everything forever, but I will try to remember that. Why run? Why not have it out with her? I bet she's thinking the same thing too. Be careful, Saturn. If you can tell what they're thinking, they can tell what you're thinking. Please, if I really could do something like that, they wouldn't have kicked me out of the pilots. Then how do you know the pilot's a she? Because boys can't pilot. Obviously. Daphnis, the tiny shepherd moon, so small it barely earns the name, tumbles through the Keller Gap, ruffling the rings of the planet it orbits. It houses the last official laboratory of Earth's decommissioned space program, training ground of failures like Saturn and special girls like Pluto. Saturn remembers it feeling cramped, anxious, and scary. No way, Pluto remembers it that way. Saturn remembers what it used to feel. When it used to feel so special to be chosen, a candidate for the last generation of pilots. But Pluto didn't feel that, I can read. But didn't Pluto feel that way too? Sometimes two things are true. In this place, gravity is quietly degenerating, and the distances are becoming ambiguous between past and present, between me and you. The Daphnis lab seems smaller to Saturn now, though not as tiny as it feels to Pluto, and that's obvious. No longer people-sized, she tears through it like worms in an apple. But there's a much bigger worm here, and she doesn't know anymore if that's a good idea. What was a good idea? I can read. Saturn doesn't have any ideas, she's just trying to hide, even though there's no place where you cannot be felt by me. Okay, this is gonna have real I've only read one book vibes, but the colors being red and blue right now is making me think of This Is How You Lose the Time War, which, if you haven't read that book, I cannot recommend highly enough. Alert. Tidal resonance IFF. Confirms enemy. Warning. Gravitational hazard. Danger. Pressure exceeding safe range. I know, it's extremely exciting. Stop making me so nervous. Supermassive, small enough to hide in this complex, but with a dual reactor denser than the entire moon compressed into the head of a pin. An hour ago, and Saturn felt the gravitational pull of something so big and so close and so powerful, the interior of her cockpit creaked with the pressure, and her head, heart, and eyes welled up with tears. My heart welled up with tears? I'm gonna feel like I know that feeling, but something that couldn't be anyone other than Pluto. Cool. She must be pretty big, huh? So why is she so hard to find? Saturn has no idea. Why do I have the feeling someone's laughing at me? No one is laughing at Saturn. The lab's been abandoned for years. But Pluto, wherever she is, giggles. Not in a mean way. She really does think it's cute. I haven't even thought about Pluto in a long time now. Or in a long time. Why am I adding words? Christ. Oh man, it really would be funny if she was in that monster. Well, now someone is laughing at Saturn. Hey! I know someone's here. I can feel you listening. But I can hear you too. And I can catch you. You're not the only one who can fuck with the narrative. Narrow escape. Really stepping up with the whole reading thing, aren't you? Shut up. What are we thinking? I don't really know yet how I feel about things. I mean, Cradle's Graces sounds kind of cool, but I don't fully understand what it means to betray someone right now. Ah! Well, I just kind of clicked that without thinking. Whatever. It's easiest to not get caught if you don't care about catching anything. Good at bad decisions. Make a choice for the first time is the achievement I just got. It's just about knowing there isn't a difference. And focusing deeper. Hello! Hello and welcome to the extreme reading stream. Less about betraying someone and more disregarding a faction in favor of a cute girl. Ah, I fucked up. It's okay. Focusing deeper. And focusing deeper. The real celestial mechanics, the interactions of bodies and space via the forces of gravity. The weight of mass and culture. Explained by the story behind them. That's just science. My recommendation is usually just go with what feels right in the moment, not think too hard about loyalty betrayal. Alright, I will try to be better at bad decisions. With your own gravity, reach out and pull. Good girl! You know just what to do. Do you like what you caught? You literally just told me how to say this and I'm gonna fuck it up. The Cruin Macula towers over Saturn. Pluto's ship is so big it barely fits in the lab complex, but it's only a speck compared to how big it feels. Massive enough to warp local spacetime, humming and vibrating with nebula dust, and absolutely effortlessly gentle. Without Pluto's most delicate touch, the Cruin Macula would have destroyed Saturn and the whole complex without even trying. I mean, she's really pretty. I love it. How much do you trust it? I knew you'd be right behind me or something. If you did, how come you're not facing this way? I'm an idiot, I guess? You've come a long way just to be an idiot. You must know exactly what this ship can do, right? Did you come to fight me on purpose? That's really brave and really cute. If you can touch me, I can touch you. So I'm not getting close. You came all this way, not even to fight? Oh, that's not cute at all, but it's smart. Hey, don't underestimate me. I'm scary. Oh god, I'm dying also. You think? Maybe I believe you. Cute things can also be scary. But I'm curious now. I was worried you were going to waste your chance, smug in your new machine, but you're pretty clever. You want to talk without fighting? If you're good, otherwise I'll bite. So, what you want to talk about? As Cradles Grace's glittering psychic death machine, you definitely have more important things to do than go out of your way to bully me for no reason, right? Oh, that's right. That man and the fleet are escaping, aren't they? Hope you don't mind falling for this trap. Trap? You? Silly. I know you're more important than that. More than catching the rest of the Celestial Mechanics fleet? I knew this would be fun, and you knew it too. I am absolutely delighted about you doing that, just to be clear, so you don't need to read my mind to roast me about it. I can't read minds. You know that's not how it works. But I also don't need to know that. But I did want to know how the biggest overachiever at my juniors turned into such a bad girl. If you really remembered me, you'd remember I wasn't even good. I do remember you. Even if you're not that good at being bad, do you know what you're doing with that machine that's so dangerous we don't even want to find out what it does? I think you answer your own question about why I'm keeping it. Are you gonna stop me then? But you don't want to. Hey, stop, don't pry into me. If you're pitying me, I'll make you regret it. Not all of us come out perfect like you. Some of us get thrown out before they see any use at all. I won't pity you. I really would have torn this machine apart. But now that I'm here, gifted little mutant to gifted little mutant, I can't bear to. Because some of us just haven't been thrown out yet. Lab-grown girls like us should stick together. I might still make you regret it. Winning isn't my most important task. It's not yours either. Are you sure about that? You're not who I'm worried about. It's only your boss I can't forgive. Oh, I love hearing that. Tell me more. I'm getting a crush already. Regretting it now? Don't worry. There's nothing you can make me regret. Day 2. Cool, we did it. Okay, it's my new mail. Pilot Candidate 007 Mercury interviews. Origin. Memorial Foundation Celestial Mechanics extracted. Author Generation 3 pilot intake. Don't worry, it's just a checkup. I assume this is Mercury for the M. Okay. Historically untrustworthy scenario. It's just questions, I promise. That's not really a great way to set my mind at ease. Let's just answer the questions, okay, wise guy? Fine. Have you experienced a sense of vertigo or loss of balance for a period lasting more than 2 minutes in the last month? No. Have your eating habits changed at all recently? No. No! Mercury, work with me, please. Why? You work with me! If I absolutely promise neither I nor anyone else will do anything at all to stop you from being exactly who you want or from whatever changes you need, will you at least answer my questions? Sometimes, maybe. Okay, that's good enough for me. We're just curious if it's a side effect of life in space, or the educational programming of Dr. Nix, or in reference to the behavior of Iapetus. No, that's backwards. Everyone else seems to get to do whatever they want without limits in space. Why is it weird when I do it? We want to test for the effects of space alone, so self-induced changes have to be controlled for. Don't ask what's in my endocrine system. It's my endocrine system. Fine, it's testosterone, and I put it there because I wanted it there. Is that enough? Well, I guess that's what I need to know. If you promise not to ask me about it again, I'll give you the data I cataloged about to get the changes. Okay, I get it. You're starting to get it. Stop treating me like a girl, and I'll know you've really got it. Alright, oh god, yeah, I finally have a Nightbot set up. So, enjoy those popping up every once in a while. Maybe I'll view the previous comms, we'll check. Our boy in space on purpose. We respect it. You respect it. Recommended tactics extracted from Nereid OS ship self string of pearls documentation. String of pearls is configured for specific outward expressions of gravity tidal forces. The dissonant rhythm of this reactor makes peaceful tidal communication risky and difficult. Be cautious despite the range and penetration of this unit is capable of. The electromagnetic conductors have liquefied the electrical energy into a corrupting material, a form of theoretical matter that should be used as the primary engagement tool. As a seducer-saboteur model, the unit's functions are inherently insidious. Rather than armor, the plastics are infinitely malleable and regenerate. It is safer to take damage head-on as an opportunity to infect rather than avoid, but the unit can be contained, restrained, and impeded physically and tidally. Okay. Alright, I don't know if that would be the old or not. A boy in space on purpose. Consummate bridge bunny, not responsible for Saturn. I lost my coaster, but it's fine. Yeah, this is the new one. That makes sense. Alright, listen, it's an emergency. I'm sorry about everything, but it's important. You have to tell Commander that I'm getting so laid. I'm logging off, bye. I was not fooled for even a second that this would be useful. Really? Not even for a second? I no longer experience hope as a concept. You've freed me from it. Aw, stop, I'm blushing. What do you want from me, Saturn? Do you know any discreet places to make out in on Ares? Goodbye, Saturn! Also, here's that test output to date. Saturn! Goodbye! Aren't you gonna read me the data analysis? If it is indeed data you are sending me this time, and not just nudes. That's rude. I always ask before I send them to you. I don't mind acting as the official art director of Saturn's nudes since you need it so badly, and it's substantially less tedious than data analysis. But if you were as punctual about sending data as cockpit selfies, I would have a lot more data to report. Why are you so incredulous all the time? You stole the prototype, might I remind you? You can't just continue the field testing as if nothing's happened. Why not? Because why would you do anything you didn't want to do? What are you planning? Fine. They've been dying for it anyway. Cool, how'd I do? Ugh, this is not bad. It's pretty useful. He typed through tears. Don't rub it in. I can't believe your ship self-expanded so much already. What have you been doing with it? I think I have been hinting very clearly how. I instantly regret this question. You're supposed to test the prototype in combat. Same difference. I can't believe we invented a ship designed to get in trouble and didn't think. Oh, Saturn is the obvious choice for this. We both know why. You were an even more obvious choice than me. Fuck Lepidus. Iapetus. I swear to God. I can't read. It's fine. For throwing us both out like trash. Come on, aren't you a little happy to see Havoc in his perfect garden? I'll be looking forward to you collecting new data. Attaboy. That was so loud. Okay. Time to select a mission? Okay. Time to select one mission? Is this different or is it just, Yeah, it's just that. Oh, but yeah. No, it just says don't talk to me because that's all I did. Because that's all I looked at. Womp womp. That's fine. Alright. Joyride, Killjoy. Weaving in and out of the Six Planets Ring, Memorial Foundation's ace Lunaterra plays cat and mouse with the renegade ship thief Saturn. Please tell me how long you're going to be engaged in this. May I stress again, incredibly dangerous, giant waste of time. Until they start sending someone interesting after me, Mercury. The whole fleet would be after you if you hadn't damaged the entire launch hangar when you stole that. Could they even take me out while I'm flying this thing? No, but it won't stop him from trying. And let me stress, this info packet is a gift purely to prevent your ship self from falling into enemy hands, and not an indication of any sort of forgiveness. Let me worry about Iapetus, Mercury. He's gonna be a lot less grumpy when I clear the way for us and celestial mechanics to return to the native sphere. I've got it all figured out. You absolutely don't, but okay. Did you read the info packet? Ace Memorial Foundation pilot Lunaterra in hot pursuit with escorts planned an attack on the lab, arrived after you escaped. Do not engage under any circumstances. Boring. But this part was good. I don't expect you to control your impulses, but even given that you're just like that, she's the last person you should be trying to fight on purpose. Sounds like I should definitely fight her on purpose, right? I hate you. Oh, come on. The carrier's never gonna make it out of the system if I don't. You don't know how to pilot your ship, and she's a veteran since the Cold War. You're gonna get yourself captured and humiliated, and the ship trashed. So you're saying there's no downside. Why are you doing this to me? And she's 6'1", huh? Your attention to detail is so useful sometimes. You're using me to cruise? Your taste is so awful, I hate you! Oops, look like one of her escorts is in range, so I gotta go. Surprise all I've got, you know? Hello! I wish Europa would stop sending me boys who can't control themselves. Having fun dismantling my escorts? With the string of pearls fingers, Saturn carefully peels the mechanical musculature out of the poor ship's arm, and she's holding a souvenir of the last of Lunaterra's escorts that she sent crying too easily back to their base. It's still sparking and oozing, and Saturn wishes her ship had a mouth so she could suck it out like crab meat. Maybe it does have a mouth. The machine has many mysteries that the manual doesn't explain, and Saturn is still learning them. Though I suppose Europa's learned her lesson about sending me girls who can't control themselves. Oh, really? Hey, that's interesting. Mind telling me more? Oh, she's a hacker too? How amusing. There's nothing too interesting on this comm frequency. Aw, you flatter me. But hey, what did that mean exactly? The part about girls who can't control themselves? I really want to hear more. It means back up that talk first. Or can you land a hit off the comms? Lunaterra's gravitational field focuses to a single point. Lunaterra isn't budging. She's been through much worse, and so has her ship, followed always by a thin trail from a bleeding wound she never could completely repair. The Mare Crisium is over 2 decades old, but Saturn can't even land a hit. It's regal and stiff, dressed in cold metallics, weathered and refurbished. The archetypal prototype for all the ship's I'm going to read all the words that are in the sentence. The archetypal prototype for all other ship selves, still going after all these years. Still furiously untouchable. The string of pearls hasn't gone down no matter how much she's been rammed with that spear, but she hasn't even nicked Lunaterra's ship once. Not bad at all for a joyride, but you can't get one hit in? Good thing you don't win by looking cool. No mercy for newbies? No! Lunaterra puts a stake of solid light through the string of Pearl's legs, pins it to its own gauze wrapper. It doesn't hurt at all. The ship's metals begin molding and reforming around the wound immediately. A ridiculous, unfair advantage. Saturn has no right to complain, but she still wants to. But she is trying to be cool. Everyone wants to, when in the quiet gleam of that always bleeding ship. That's a pretty amazing ship. Think it'll last? Either you're fighting just for fun because you're that reckless, or you're caught in your own containment wrapper and can't escape orbit yet. And you'd beat me for sure if I played around. I'm not done yet. That's not true. It's actually very difficult to move with a solid light bullet in your leg, but she's not going to let that stop her. Saturn is suddenly closer than she logically could be, claws bubbling, but Lunaterra effortlessly slips away and kicks Saturn's ship directly in the chest. Yeah, you're done. The containment wrapper is still stuck to you, so your movement's off. Doesn't seem to have stopped you that much. Right? It was so rude of them to try to stop me. It seems cruel to take it away when you're having so much fun with it. Same as you, right? Do I know you? Everyone knows Memorial Foundation's perfect ace. But do I know you? So I do, don't I? Let me out of this thing and I'll tell you. Why should I? Because you can't help yourself. Besides, don't you want a real fight? Can you promise it'll go different? I can promise it'll be more fun. You are asking for me to totally abandon my duty to bring you back and do that instead. What, you won't? The legendary pilot who defected from the Memorial Foundation then double-crossed the rebels she abandoned them for can't be opposed to a little fooling around with the enemy. I guess you do know me. Want to trust each other? Or is it more fun if we don't? It's more fun if they do and Saturn gets embarrassed. It's more fun if they don't and Lunaterra gets owned. I mean, come on. I'm impressed. Most people would be nervous to have a knife this near their throat. I don't know why I hesitated. It's not like you can hurt it, so there's nothing to be nervous about, is there? That's true. But you're so new to this, I thought your brain would be overriding the information from your ship. Maybe I'm not new to this. Oh, you were a candidate, so I think that might be true. But you're also trembling, so I think it's not completely true. I'm still very dangerous, you know, Lunaterra. I believe that for sure. You wouldn't be trembling if you were in my shoes? Less so. People tremble for a lot of reasons, though. I don't have anything to fear, so please don't project that onto me. Ah, well, if you're fearless, what is it then? It could be anticipation, couldn't it? This is very foolish of me. It really is. I have you right where I want you, remember? That might mean I have you too. Your claws are twitching. I thought we promised not to trust each other. I still don't. Then you must really like living dangerously if you're still helping me. I'm having fun. I can tell. If you want to know so bad, that's why I didn't like you. Because you were a test pilot and never got to fly before the end of the Cold War, while idiots like me got to? I thought so. That's enough. Hold still. Everyone let you have as much fun as you wanted. You were a real huge jerk. I was always jealous of that. Everyone who let me get away with it regrets it now. There. Done. Thanks. For all your hard work, I should leave you something to remember me by. Oh, ready to fight for real? I sorta already did. And Saturn has left a claw scratch on the hot pink poison. Saturn has left a claw scratch of hot pink poison seeping onto Mare Crisium's thigh. How's that? I finally did get a hit on you. Huh, good job. They break away, rocketing. Just a little love bite. Pay me back for it next time. Trust me, I will. Huh. No! We're drinking so much water. Alright, ever since the day Mars began, Mars has been doomed. No, there will never be a planet Mars. That's a name reserved for places where human life, gravity, and culture reign. This is just bitter Aries. But like the stringy, inedible weeds that grow when nothing else does, Cradle's Grace is dug in and we can't get them out. The colonies are wrecked and terraforming engines are broken. The gravity furnaces are out of control. There's no resources left on this planet, no strategic value. This planet doesn't even exist. It's an inert rock. There's no point in fighting. There's no need to fight. Ship selves can't keep you alive alone forever, and even if that was the case, we could leave tomorrow and claim victory. Most of the Memorial Foundation NSES fleet already did. That's why there's barely any of us left, and why we can't get them out. What? Why don't I go home too? And leave all those idiots to just fucking die on a rock? Who do you think we're doing this for? External communications sent on August 31st, 1978 by Memorial Foundation troops. Hey, it's not like we're idiots. We know we're doomed. The planet still doesn't fulfill the requirements for human life, and life is just the start anyway. Don't you know that gravity is something more important? You do understand celestial mechanics, right? Matter is made of tiny particles, but enough of it exerts gravity that stitches the universe together. Culture is made of tiny humans, and enough of it together can decide what's real and what isn't. It is really quite fucked up that this is how decisions about humans get made. Enough humans can decide anything and then it'll be true, even about what's human and what's not. They don't even have to wait for the deadline. They've already decided that any human without their feet planted on Earth is in fact not a human. That's a pretty usual thing for humans to do. No differences of any kind need to exist. We'll just be aliens and then they'll send the real military after us and we'll die. But if we just hold the line here, for our princess to get through and make it to the moon, she'll open up the gravity well, and then we get to decide. Internal communications sent on January 25th, 1981 by Cradle's Grace's Irregulars. It's morning on Aries, but what's time and space? If we can get our capital ship launched and refueled and the prototype retrofitted with the final equipment, we'll have everything in place. Keep out of the canyons of Mars, where Cradle's Graces and Memorial Foundations are bickering, hold the city ruins against the invading troops, and make sure no one tries to set the oxygen ocean on fire while we refuel. It's a pretty thankless job. But me, I can't wait to see what happens. This is the most exciting space it's ever been. Before we got here, this was a dead rock, but the best we could have ever hoped for was her... I'm getting worse at reading the more I read. But the best we could have ever hoped for was Earth in a different place. Who needs that? Far in the distance, the moon's gravity well shines. If no one controls it before the deadline is up, Earth will take drastic steps to ensure that humanity is not divided. What they're afraid of happening, we will ensure that it happens. We finally have something alien in space. Private communication sent on January 26, 1981 by Celestial Mechanics researcher. Day 3. I might actually take a break in a second. Root corruption. Error, mission parameters not detected. Mission results needed for gravitational slingshot permissions. Error, navigation shortlist not found. Manual inject mission results.txt. Mission parameters found. All results perfect and amazing. Wow, thank you, Saturn. Flight path generating. Fleet path Cronus orbit refuel on planet Ares Lagrange. Colony pass classified operation Earth's moon. New standing orders coming in. Ares. Guard Celestial Mechanics Fleet refueling on Ares Oxygen Ocean. Ares. Stay out of trouble and do not engage Memorial Foundation troops patrolling in its immediate vicinity. Accept orders? No. Error, cannot proceed. Manual inject. Accepted. Normalizing gravitational slingshot effect. Prepare for immediate launch to Ares. Okay, yeah. We are gonna take a quick break as soon as I figure out where to click on my screen. Alright. Alright, hello again. Let's... Oh, is the game not loading in? Okay, good. All I need to do is click into it. Hello again. We have more water. My throat's gonna die, but that's okay. Let's do mail. Celestial Mechanics Fleet Main, junk data error. Oh my god, sorry for getting back to you so late, but I was in the middle of a meeting. My phone buzzed so much the director asked me if I needed to take the call. I swear you do this on purpose. I don't think you really need feedback on your nudes that quickly, even though yes, they're really, really important to me, and I can't stop thinking about them or getting any of my work done. And my presentation suffered greatly for my lack of focus. I expect you're prepared for a little payback, and after I sent you my schedules, this wouldn't happen again even. Hey, you wouldn't have asked me for my meeting time so that you could send me the worst possible moment, would you? I already know the answer to that, so why don't you tell me this? Why can I never get enough of you? Comms. Be careful today. I'm never careful any day, so... I'm serious this time. Iapetus is in the field today. I don't know where he's fighting, but you should be careful. Jeez, you worry too much. Obviously, because you give me so much to worry about! I mean, are you really worried? His ship self is actually not that scary. Not as scary as mine. As if that was a thing I was worried about. What then? Oh, ew, god, I'm not even thinking about letting our mutual ex touch me. I won't even fight him. I'll curve him the second his tides so much as tremble against my plating. Why would you worry? I don't even slightly hate him less than you do. There is no possible way you hate him more than I do, but that's not the issue. That's never the issue with him. Hating him hasn't made him any easier to deal with. We were kids, though. We're older and wiser now. LMAO. Haha. At least you are, Mercury. Hardly. Or I wouldn't be telling you. You remember how he just casually lingered his fingers a second for too long on your shoulder? In front of everyone? Ugh, it was so gross. It was so gross. IP just literal actual worst person in space with zero competition. Great. And I loved the attention every time. It made me so smug. I loved it. It was gross. I hate him. Do you love yourself enough not to fall for it again? I definitely hate him enough not to fall for it. Do you? No, obviously. I'm still in Celestial Mechanics, so how do you think I feel? You're soaring, you've got a stupid idiot who loves you, and you get to do research and never have to deal with him again. And with this ship self, we'll have the future. And no matter what, I'll make sure he won't. I didn't see my little thing up here. Insufferable horror creature, forward all complaints to Mercury. Okay. We're gonna drink some tea. Because I still have... Oh, Jesus. I definitely didn't spill tea at all. Why would you even ask if I set my cup down weird and spilled tea? It's fine. It's totally fine. Everything's fine. Deep dive. The Oxygen Ocean serves as both a fuel yard and a terraforming engine for planet Ares, and it's a perfect hiding place for the migrating Celestial Mechanics fleet. But deep down, something is reaching up for them. And 400mm KISS, Memorial Foundation deploys a certain sniper to stop escape and resupply routes to the resting Celestial Mechanics fleet. All Saturn needs to do is stay out of trouble. But what's the chance of that? Also, I just remembered that I haven't been saving the game. Okay. Let's just do the first one. Saturn, what are you doing? Disabling all comms and the dividing supports and... Oh, you're still here? I thought I cut this channel too. Well, I should go ahead and shut it. Don't you dare cut me off. You can listen if you promise not to whine or stop me. I will do no such thing, and you cannot make a deal with me. I'm simply stating a fact, not making an argument. Ugh, just why, Saturn? Why are you such an incorrigible, petulant nightmare? After you were probationally forgiven for doing a very good job not getting String of Pearls ruined or captured, and Command even decided to give you the job of sparking the gravity engine that will take our fleet back to the native sphere. I would think you wouldn't be so into pressing your luck recklessly. But everyone except for you is so annoying. They're annoying because whatever is causing the tidal interference from the bottom of the oxygen ocean is almost certainly that Cradle's Grace's weapon, and they have no reason to believe you're going to be loyal. Every single second of the day, you are horrid and undisciplined, and your brief periods of obedience only seem to exist to throw everyone off later. I mean, if you want me to cover for you, you'll have to play along a little. Why are you like this? Years of encouragement and grooming followed by abandonment and neglect, you know that. Same as you. And same for that pilot you're after too. Is that why? In a different way, but I think so. Enemy or not, I want to talk. I think I'm getting somewhere. And if I'm not going to get to talk, and I'm not going to get to talk if you are all interfering. What if she doesn't want to just talk? Then you'll really appreciate me cutting the cables before she pulls all of you down there with me. Why is it so important anyway? You'll really jeopardize the whole operation for that? What, you don't think I have my own cunning master plan? It's way better than his. Supposedly nothing can stop the Krun Macula. Is it better to find out if that's true sooner than later? Fight her or talk, which is it? How are they any different? Anyway, don't worry when the connection accidentally breaks. I'll be fine, promise, and you will be too. Saturn is so real and realistic for the whole casually drops glib reference to true traumatic abuse. Yeah, that's what me and all my friends do. Ooh, share a secret moment deep down. Get in a tug of war about the waves. I feel like I'm constantly favoring the mechanics. But sharing a secret sounds better. Alright, the balance shifts because Pluto tugs and Saturn yields. The oxygen ocean is a peaceful place because everything about it destroys everything else. You can enjoy complete privacy under the curtain of the oxygen steam, drink all the fuel and air you want, and no vessel can survive the temperature and pressure conditions below. You can float as long as you want, or until your hull turns brittle and breaks, or your organic components oxidize and explode. Adjusting my screen a little, excuse me. Celestial mechanics have covered their wayward pilot's machine in temporary armor layers to seal out the unknown interference of gravity and seeping oxygen. The additional temporary armor layers might not be necessary, but they also might be. The Celestial Mechanics fleet tenders lower... I can't read. Celestial Mechanics fleet tenders lower the String of Pearls in slowly, just to make absolutely sure. It feels wonderfully cold, like a spare blanket taken from the attic in winter. Pluto is there, deep, deep down, and when Saturn slips in, she feels the ripples, as if they were on opposite ends of the same, perfectly still pool. The feeling is wonderful. Saturn is surprised that's true. How do you know that? Wait, who is you? How do I know what, Saturn? Who are you talking to? We're asking for confirmation to lower you. Yeah, I've been ready. Sorry, I got distracted. You must be if you're apologizing. There's someone down there. She's speaking to me. No, she's trying to eat me alive. Or maybe it's really hard to tell the difference. Awesome. It's familiar. I'm so stoked. Take me down. The ocean boils wherever she touches it, even with the external equipment. There's no way to rely on sight, and the paramagnetic influence is too erratic for sensors to process. She can only feel her way, for both of them. The cable to your left is extremely important. It's the only way we have of communicating and monitoring your situation. Uh-huh. So you'll need to be extremely careful with it. Are you listening? Yes, but not to you. Shush. There's definitely someone here. Lower me. It's reaching out. Saturn feels funny. Something's not quite right. Like something's watching her. Do not break the specific cable, that's the important one. It's like someone's watching me. But it's also not like someone's watching me. It's like something's watching her, but something isn't watching her. It's touching me. Something is touching Saturn. Its hands see her, and they also speak. It's saying something. The ocean ripples with boredom. It's really boring down here. But what else is Pluto going to do? Some girls get stuck with the worst jobs. But I've gotta do it. With nothing to do but send insinuations through the narration. So, are you coming or what? I've got her again. Tidal spike detected. Mass gravity alert. Lower me further. Saturn, we're pulling you out. The question is this a hand for hitting or a hand for petting? Or for holding? A lot of options. Saturn, we're pulling you out. Oh, not just yet. Hi, Saturn. Hi, Mercury. Sorry, I'm borrowing her for a little bit. Saturn's cockpit floods with alarm lights of an imminent high-intensity gravity event, but it's too late. String of Pearls discharges its electromagnetic field and delicately breaks off the winch. Saturn, what are you... The string of pearls cleanly slices off the left communication wire and the pulley system. The silence of the oxygen ocean reminds her of a sensory deprivation tank. What a good girl. Hey, don't praise me like that. I wanted to speak with you again. Damn it, I cut both wires. Even ship-to-ship comms are down. Saturn? Can you hear me? Would you hear me if I spoke with this ship? It's been such a long time since anyone could hear it. Pluto's tidal reactor pulses slowly. The thrum feels like it's coming from everywhere. Oh, I get it. You want to talk with gravity? Well, I'm not some miracle child, even though they tried very hard to make me as good as you. Saturn's reactor, an anxious little ball, is getting just so fed up with this. It's frustrating to not be understood. Would you know what that's like? I have not played the other game. But I will remember to look into that after this. You don't know how much I know. But I believe in you. If Saturn moves too much, she might forget what direction up is. The sensory deprivation of the ocean takes everything away. But she has to remember that's not true. I don't believe you, but I'm trying. Oh, she's trying. Of course I'm trying. Come on, where am I? Oh, I hate people playing hard to get. I believe in you, but you gotta work for it. I can't do it. Sorry, but I'm cheating. The string of pearls electrotoxin shoots through the ocean. Like a bolt of lightning, it reaches out because it's attracted to you. It seeks the path of least resistance, looking for something that wants to respond. It's a lot shorter than this at least, and uses aspects of magical girls as background rather than mecha. I mean, I was literally just watching Sailor Moon this morning, so I can definitely get into that. What it really does is run along the boundaries, theoretical and real. There's a place where the boundary between one thing and another is weakest, and it runs along the boundary until it finds it, then it connects the two. Why is she doing that? Oh, it's what you're used to. Good at seeing weak spots. I've got a lot, can you find them? You can do it if you try, maybe you need a little push. It's like there's nothing, not a single crack. Don't say you're not perfect. Don't make me do all the work. Ugh. The pressure is overwhelming, but it's overwhelming for Pluto too. The Queen Macula is like a little star, gushing matter and condensing it into an engine of light over and over. It was modeled after a theory of the Big Bang. After all, made in secret on the planet Hades on the boundary between what is human and what is not. It is a fragile boundary. You can touch it, but be careful. I'm drinking water now. I'm thirsty. Ha ha ha. This takes me back. Which is not fucking fair. Are you doing that on purpose? Always taking me to unpleasant paths? Is it taking you back? Sorry. But we can't help it. It's the first thing beneath our surfaces. It's hard for me too. It takes Saturn back to her first implant series, when they took the most special children they could find and tried to cheat them into being even more special. Bypass all the work and care that had gone into the third-generation pilots and kick them directly into humanity's next stage. Cheating, you should know, felt good. It felt wrong, in a good way. It felt good in a way that felt obscene. It felt bad, like she was getting more than she deserved. They chose her, but she felt like she played a trick on them. Like she lied and got candy for it. They knew there was nothing special about her, and then they gave her the most special thing. If they knew how special it was, and how much she didn't earn it, they would have given it to someone else. But they didn't. Even when they threw her away, she never forgot how that felt. Why is it always like this? Oh, baby. It takes Pluto back to when she was learning how to be a person. In space, they decided they would start over, without assumptions. Humanity would be protected by the most human children they could make. No matter how badly she did, no matter how much she wasn't up to how perfect they wanted, they never gave up on her. That was the worst part. She wished so much they would give up. It was so hard. She just wanted to be the mess she really was, and they wouldn't let her. She knew with her whole heart what she was supposed to be. She had it memorized, and she could never make it leave her body, become the things she did and the person she was. They let her be whatever she wanted, and she wasn't strong and smart and pretty enough to be it. Both of them remember, reaching through the wall to the one on the other side, wishing so hard to hold hands, it feels like you really are. Your two pebbles dropped in the pond, but your ripples touching are enough. No one knows, and even the two of you almost don't. Never say it out loud. Never think it too loud. It sounds so bad when you put it like that. Why? Don't show me things that stop making me jealous. Oh, you got me. You're touching me. I can hear you through the contact link. Ha, you got me good. You got me that good, and that's what you have to say? You're the one who got me. You did it. You found me. You're clever. It's amazing. You don't need to flatter me. I won't feel better. I'm not. You better. I promise. Why am I so scared and you're not? That's just me. Sorry, I'm like this. Well, you can flatter me a little. You're a little needy, huh? Didn't you just say I had— oh my god, I can't fucking read. Didn't you say I just had you? Haha, you do. You can do whatever you want now. Why did you do this? You came after me, so it's only fair I came after you. Don't say it's only fair. Say I'm amazing and important. You came after me specifically. You're totally not needy, huh? Give me a better answer. I want to know why it's me. I don't have one. There are so few of us left, I've got to cling to everyone. But I love that you're scared and you believe anyway. I think you're one of the only people who can make something change. And there's no time left. Is that a proposal to join your side? Yeah! What if I refuse? Then give a good reason for me to join you. Ha, you're even more impulsive than me. You can start to see why I fight, can't you? The way I'm starting to see why you do. Show me something important, and I'll be yours too. But you're definitely not going to go quietly, are you? Nope. If I let you go, will you promise not to crush yourself and me and literally everything? This time, you mean? Yeah. I think I can do that. Say hi to Mercury for me. I'll see you again soon, baby. Show me something important, I'll be yours too is such a line. God, I'm just like non-stop celestial mechanics. We're gonna drink more water, because I'm dying. It's warm here, and I never get used to reading a shit ton. Gonna have a sore throat for the rest of the day. Alright, the captain told me to thank you for the data stream. I constantly am going back and forth between saying data and data, and I can't be stopped. You're very welcome. Do you have new results for me? Yes, I'll encrypt them. TY, you're the best. I guess there's no point in asking what you want them for. How afraid should I be? I'm just trying to fulfill our mission, Mercury. You know that. I'm going to tell him you're as inscrutable and petulant as ever. Aw, please, I don't want your hubby to hate me. Why do you always call Ganymede the captain anyway, lol? Because some of us have a sense of discretion. Aw, Captain's pet is so well behaved. You're one to talk, Saturn. You're going to end up at the pound one of these days if you go through any more superior officers. No, it's cute. You both tidily locked that quick. You're making all the lesbians jealous. Then act like it, Saturn. And I will not apologize for locking it down. I've had my fill of being a pet. I don't really want to be a pet either. Maybe you were learning to love yourself. What I'd like is to be a toy. That's even worse. No, it's better. Plastic and metal can be molded into any kind of shape. You can smooth over and change whatever you want. You only have to accept the interference you're designed for. A toy never gets to do anything. It just sits there looking pretty. Mercury, what do you think I want? Don't you love how much our ship selves evoke so much? Just by being plastic in the silhouette of a human. These beam weapons are my fingertips. This chassis is my tits. But they're also beam weapons and impenetrable chassis. They can shred the plastic all they want, but they can't touch me. Plastic can't get hurt. But you still can be, don't forget. People fawn over objects, they worship them. I want to be the product they obsess over. I thought you were tired of getting thrown away. I am not for individual retail sale. Look, don't touch. One of a kind, not sold in stores. Unbelievable. Right, we're gonna have more tea. We're really switching it up with our liquids today. And I'm gonna stop throwing it over to the side of my table in such a way that it spills droplets everywhere. Definitely gonna stop doing that. Alright, Annual Academy Student Rating. Origin, Colony Server Force Extraction. Author, Memorial Foundation Space Academy Archives. I won't rate them, they're still learning. Given this, Halimede is underperforming based on the expectations that you set out for her. I told you the projections were completely divorced from reality, repeatedly, for this very reason. The authority she may have wielded on Earth means nothing up here. I should add, because I know you will forget it as early as is convenient, that she is performing very highly compared to her peer group in the specific areas that you seem to consider so highly. Yes, even compared to your Generation 1 aces. She has the potential to surpass them, so stop asking if she has surpassed the top one yet. I'd prefer to keep those two as separate as possible for interpersonal reasons. Halimede is too competitive and easily impressed to not make me worry about placing her in close contact with a number 1 ace. Your attempts to put those two in the same room has not gone unnoticed by me. Do you just love drama, Iapetus, or is there something else you believe is more important than the health of our pilots? Okay, Nick's final resignation. In these moments, nothing is more painful than being patronized, but you couldn't even spare me that. I can't understand why you thought me to be that naive. Though. I really did know. They thought a world where their children were together and free and could write their own futures sounded wonderful. We didn't even get close for them to start to understand what the... I'm so good at reading. You guys, the thing about me is I'm great at reading. I know there's zero evidence to prove it, but... We didn't even get close for them to understand that's not what they wanted. I knew it from the start. I regret only that I didn't get further before they noticed. You were asking for my resignation, but there's nowhere else for me to go, and there's nowhere else for those children to go either. It won't let you have them, and I won't let you crush them back to their earthly shapes. What you're asking instead is for me to declare war, so I will do so, and we will see if Earth's tides are truly powerful enough to crush the new humanity that you rejected. Nyx. Sounds great. I mean, it sounds like they're doing terrible things, but she sounds great. She's so full of fire and fury and care for the queer kids in space. Somebody has to be. Alright, 40mm kiss. Oh, wait, I'm gonna save, actually. Okay. You're going to force these kids to stop being queer? How about I declare war on you instead? It's the only fucking option. Okay. No. Go ahead. Take your time. We're not dying yet or anything. You know, fighting officially on Ares is a lot less fun than I was promised it would be. It's real work, Saturn. I thought that's what all of that getting back on our good side was all about. They shouldn't have done such a good job of hiding in the oxygen ocean then. You could maybe stage an attack from the Olympus ruins, but not even Cradle's Graces is precious enough to defend them. Memorial Foundation is thorough enough to watch over it. Of course, only they would be that annoying. There's recent activity there, and they want an investigation. They're just being paranoid. That's a stupid plan, and they're only sending someone there to waste their time chancing we're dumb. Or baiting us. Would they really send their ace if that was the case? Wait, that old Memorial Foundation warhorse, you mean? Why didn't you just tell me the most important part first? Coordinates now, please! Saturn, I really hope you're not actually... Yeah, I'm feeling like, Command is right, actually. That area needs some really thorough investigation, just to be sure. What's with the sudden enthusiasm? It's really not... No, wait, it's exactly like you. When you said you fought off the Mercurium pilot, what were you actually doing? I don't know what you're talking about, Mercury. I was so dutiful and brought this back in one piece, so that means I won, so don't worry about it. Why are you like this? I'm very used to being asked why I'm like this, so I like Saturn. Saturn gets no-scoped. Lunaterra gets a point-blank encounter. I don't know what to do. I mean, I feel like all I ever do is pick something that's celestial mechanics, so let's just do the one that's not for once. Unless you guys, you're frustrating myself so hard from giving a suggested action. Alright, we're doing the first one. The balance shifts because Lunaterra could hold still and Saturn couldn't. Correct for gravity, it's unsettlingly weak. The great thing about this game is that all the options are great. RIP, spiciest outcome dodged! It's fine. Correct for the cold blue starry daylight of the fragile Ares atmosphere. Sniping from the reins of the capital spire is like being just an eye and a trigger finger, a thrilling place for Lunaterra to fight. As ever, I think this one is spicier. We'll find out. Correct for wind, it's skittish and powerless. Correct for gravity, there's still too much of it. Correct for the nuisances of this infant planet that will never be. Skirting along the abandoned roads of the city that never was is like being an exposed nerve, a thrilling place for Saturn to fight. I see you. Lunaterra squeezes the trigger for the 17th time. The cover couldn't protect String of Pearls from Lunaterra's eyes, and it sure couldn't protect her from her trigger finger. Engage reactor. Initiate inertial control. The slug whips right by Saturn, and that's 7 times dodged. The 4 shrinking holes in her chassis, marching closer to the String of Pearls' heart. Mark what happens when she doesn't. Getting shot still sucks. Saturn isn't used to it. That one was so close. That one was really, really, really close. Tell me why I'm getting better. Tell me I'm getting better, right? No way, it's just luck. You've gone from getting hit all of the time to getting hit half the time. That's better, but what you want is to be hit none of the time. Don't tell me what I want. Maybe I love being shot. You wouldn't be the first. Wow, weird. You must fight some really problematic people. Some pilots find interesting ways to pass the time. I kinda get the appeal. What else is there to do? If you didn't love getting shot so much, you wouldn't run around space shooting each other. If that's true, why did you come here to fight? If that's true, why did you come here? There's nothing left to fight over on Ares for anyone. Give me one thing to do more fun than look demure and get shot at. Someone has to do the shooting. That tells me what position you favor, but it doesn't answer my question. I'm taking evasive maneuvers. If I dodge the next one, answer my question. I won't answer the first one, but I'll answer a different one. If you dodge. Saturn gets so quiet. She gets so still. Yet her heart is thumping. Her reactor is thrumming with resonance. It's obvious Lunaterra is sniping her from the tower, the city's last and tallest building. But now, suddenly, she isn't so sure. She isn't I can't speak. She isn't sure if she knows where Lunaterra is, or if she knows anything about her at all. What did her face look like again? Hit. It's not that Saturn wasn't on the ready, she's baiting. She knows exactly what she's doing. Lunaterra just guessed for the 1/2 second where Saturn wasn't ready, and slipped her solid light bullet in that space. The shot lands right in her throat. For a moment, Saturn's just, I'm dead. But she's not. Then she hurts so bad she wants to die. But she's just mistaking the very different things the string of pearls feels instead of that. It's not really pain, but it's a feeling so overwhelming it shuts Saturn down like pain would. It's fascinating, full of information. Ha, Lunaterra, you're not doing a very good job convincing me not to try and get shot. I've heard that before too. You sure are having fun. What makes you think that? Want to know how I know? When correcting for gravity, the impression you leave in space feels a little for a second like... Well, someone might say it's like an eye roll, but I think it's kind of like a giggle too. Huh. Maybe that counts as a hit. You don't win cat and mouse games by batting every time a head pokes out. Except somehow you do. You're good at making people not follow their own better instincts. You shouldn't be getting me to teach you to fight fair. You do much better like this. Aw, thank you. I don't fight fair because I have absolutely no idea how to fight. But this is why I hate you, Lunaterra. You just don't get it. I want to beat you at something you're good at. You're really tough. Not your sniping, which you can't stop me at all, but how you're totally impenetrable. You're doing something tricky. What are you doing? It's still my question, my hit, that's the rules. Why are you here? Firstly, because I refuse to ever be bored just like you. Secondly, wiping that smug expression off your face is my deepest desire, so teach me how to weave through your fire and sink my claws in you. What's the third reason? Not telling, I already gave you one for free. Nice dodge. My question then. Dodge a real one first. Lunaterra fires, and Saturn leaps forward directly into it. The bullet misses. Her tail sparks, and she thrusts through the atmosphere. And also she needs to drink so much more water. How's that? Good work. But you have to keep it up. Lunaterra lands a bullet straight through the legs, and Saturn crumples. But the moment her limbs heal, Saturn leaps again. She's ready for the next bullet, but not the one behind it. But that one's a clean shot right through her no-stopping power at all, and she leaps through again, and is gone in the rubble before Lunaterra can land another shot. Is that more dodges or more hits? Counterpoint. Here's my opinion on getting shot so far. It fills my brain with overwhelming information and barely stops me from doing anything at all because I'm in control of an impossible space war machine. So can you actually say you've really hit me? Flawed argument. Really disappointing, and I was expecting a lot better. Am I losing? Can I ever lose no matter how much you shoot me? I don't think so. I don't actually think so. This machine is never going to lose. You can pin me down, you might be so much better than me I couldn't beat you in a million years, but I will keep trying and beat you with dumb luck. Huh. Maybe that's true. You never hit me. Why are you here? Did you know that there's a theory that ship selves can't actually be destroyed? You can break as much of them as you want, but the gravity engine will always pull it back into shape. As long as you're sufficiently tenacious, you can survive anything and try again until you get it right. So you do get what this machine is for. My least favorite person in the world came up with that theory, and this is the ship's self to test it, so naturally I know all about it. But it's true that no one has died. That's why they get to say that there's still no more in space. Dodging my question again? But in practice, wrecking a ship self until both the pilot and the ship give up is indistinguishable. Because you can become so broken continuing is impossible. Even if they can't kill you, you can be changed. You think you can do that to me? Or is that what you want to have happen to you? I have. To people who have much more fun with this than you do. Ha! This don't call it a war is nothing but play fighting. All it takes is someone not playing along to ruin it all. A solid light slug passes so close to Saturn's head that the heat chars her face black. Excuse me, but it's not a hit. She incremented to the left 0.05 seconds before impact. Oh, you are getting better. It's definitely my question now. I'm still answering. That theory has not been disproven. It's more than likely true. But this is something you should know first. Your body can't be killed or destroyed, but it can be changed. When you are hit, truly hit, you're bent into a different kind of shape, and through that you can change. I think you should ask yourself if you're ready for that before you say you want to play with me for real. Speaking from experience about that always bleeding wound on your ship self, it's not always a bad thing to change. Last one, if you can't dodge this, I don't think you're ready. Once again, Saturn feels Lunaterra slipping away. She's not here. She's not anywhere. She never was. Once again, it's my hit. Electricity explodes from the target point and connects back to the origin. It starts from where Lunaterra is, and when it connects back to Saturn, fast as light, the course correction defines the pathway retroactively. Wow. Huh. I'm an idiot. This is great. You're not supposed to be ecstatic about someone getting the best of you. That's my move. Sorry. But I was condescending before. Next time we fight, it'll be for real. What if I don't want to fight? Then that'll be real then too. Gonna drink a lot of water before I read all these. I think I've been picking right now between Pluto or Luna. I like Luna. September 12th, 1963. That's when the first and last artificial colony of the native sphere was completed in a tranquil bowl of stable gravity at Lagrange point 5. As the front of the line against existential threats, a training facility for a generation of humans adapted to fight in space. As a colony environment with the life, gravity, and culture necessary for humans being to live, thrive, die, and be born. With the hope that peace on Earth would reign if we won this war in heaven. Without pressure, water boils off our tongues, and we dissolve into component parts. Without culture, we forget the shapes we're supposed to have and turn inside out into something else. Out of necessity, we created a pressurized environment exerting enough gravitational pressure to maintain cohesion, all senses, in space, a ship self to ferry us through the world. They function only in places where the gravity of humans is too light to sustain existence. It was doomed from the start. Of course they were jealous. Of the humans the Earth no longer wanted flying on zero-G wings. Dr. Niggs, Executive Director, Memorial Foundation Existential Expansion. July 29th, 1958. That's when the Memorial Foundation International Executive Committee was granted international authority in the spirit of unified human peace and the verified presence of an existential threat outside of the solar system to establish a cultural, military, and the scientific response to existential threats. Jesus, my throat. No longer confined to Earth, a growing native sphere where our gravity reigns forever. Safety, research, and expansion. The three pillars of the Memorial Foundation Space Branch will protect the Earth from without as it has from within. Free from the old world's gravity, it would be possible to advance science, art, and culture without constraint and join hands. All of Earth finally unified. For Memorial Foundation, protecting humans from the other humans through peace on Earth, and protecting humans from everything else through war in heaven, would fulfill both of our agendas simultaneously. We really foolishly decided we could do better. There are two errors to this approach. The first is that to do better in heaven is meaningless if it cannot be exported to Earth. The space program was never rejected by the surface. It simply did not have enough relevance to sustain interest. The second error is the intrinsic error of the Memorial Foundation. The existential threat is intrinsic to humanity. You can fight it, but you cannot cut it out. The designation of alien is required by humans. We cannot trick an existential threat into convenient manifestation. As it has always been, only humans can fulfill the criteria to be alien. Europa, Chief Officer, Memorial Foundation Existential Safety. January 2nd, 1980, that's when they blew up the Lagrange colony. It was a real shame. It was a green, wet, and very peaceful place. And now it's a very cold, green, wet, and very unsettling place. It's where we did a lot of legitimately incredible things, like create sustainable tidal reactors, new culture, experiment with human bodies and human development, manufacture self-sufficient alter egos for space exploration, and did everything other than successfully combat the unknowable existential threat. Earth and the Memorial Foundation surface considers that a failure, but in truth they're just not trying hard enough. Through gravity, humans decided what is real and what is not. Humans cannot make whatever they imagine come true. Through imagining, humans chart out what is true. They invent with human effort what exists. If an existential threat doesn't exist, we just have to make one. But of course it doesn't work like that. Nothing could be more difficult than creating something alien. Our only reference points are humans, and so the idea of something alien is unimaginable, because we cannot imagine outside of those terms. There's a certain degree of misunderstanding needed for humans to successfully classify something as alien. But before they blew it up, we got very close. IPETA's Executive Director, Memorial Foundation Existential Research. And of course, fuck IPETA's. Okay, root core reformatting 67% complete. Awaiting flight path input. Manual inject extract. Forcibly extracting coordinates. Coordinates received. Flight path passes through both former pilot training school, Lagrange Colony. Receiving new mission assignments. Error block from ship self-side. Manual inject scan virus. Extract. 3 viruses detected and deleted. You have new mission assignments. Colony. Reclaim tidal reactor from colony core before Memorial Foundation. Colony. Prevent theft of entire colony by Cradle's Graces. Accept orders? LMAO. Accepted! Normalizing gravitational slingshot effect. Prepare for immediate launch into Lagrange Colony. Alright, we're gonna take a break again. Okay, hello. I should not have run away so fast because you just gave me great information that this is the halfway point if I want to split the run for my voice. I think that would probably actually be a great idea because I'm dying. um, it'll make it a shorter stream than I normally do, but I think that's okay. I think that would be great. So I'm gonna save, and then we'll just talk for a quick second. Overwrite, please. That is what time it is. I feel like I don't trust it. Yeah, okay, great. This has been fun so far, though, other than me dying from reading a shit ton. I might be able to stream again sometime during the week. I feel like I have tended to have Wednesday evenings to myself, so maybe that would be a good idea. So I will tentatively say that I'll be back on Wednesday, and if not, it'll just be next Sunday. I will try to start earlier, because I ideally like to start... Jesus, game. Oh, hello! Thank you for following. Yeah, thank you guys for hanging out. We'll tentatively say Wednesday, possibly just do Sunday. I think I was saying I will try to start earlier. I like starting at 11, and I keep, like, just not managing it. But, like, noon Pacific time is pretty, sustainable, so it'll be between then. But yeah, thank you guys for hanging out, and for watching, and for encouraging and knowing this game better than me. It was great, and yeah, I will see you guys soon. Bye!